All units, stop where you are. We have an active shooting in progress. We have an officer down. I need a Leon County EMS unit here immediately. We have an active shooting happening right now. Ryan, back up.
Their lives will forever be changed, but they have the support of a community, and we will stand by them.
This is my first year participating in the Unity Tour. I've been a police officer for 24.5 years and have been fortunate. I've never had a serious injury or anything like that work-related. So the opportunity at this point in my career, at this stage in my career, to do something for those who gave the ultimate sacrifice is a pretty neat idea.
At this point, telling them to train hard is a little late, you know, so it's to dig deep and remember why you came, who you came for. And when you're having a hard day getting up the hill, just look around for one of the survivors and think, you know, their day is just a little bit harder than yours to keep going.
Good morning. Thank you all for coming out. Obviously, I believe everybody who's here had to come out that's wearing blue and white. So you guys had to be here, or you have a long way to D.C. First of all, give yourselves a round of applause for just getting here. Great job.
You have a contingent of 145 riders who are all riding for the memory of slain police officers. They're riding from Portsmouth, Virginia today on the first leg of a trip that'll take them to Washington, D.C., and their final destination is the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial.
I'd also like to mention that we've had 2 more go down overnight. Officer Benjamin Dean and Officer LaCorey Tate of the Hattiesburg Police Department got killed last night on a traffic stop. So I'd like to have a moment of silence for them, please.
So for 2014, there were 117 in the line of duty deaths across the United States, and that includes tribal, federal, local, municipal, sheriffs, etc., across the United States.
From the Mesa Police Department, Sergeant Brandon Mendoza was killed last year on his way home from work. He was hit by a DUI driver, hit head-on on a freeway, unfortunately, there in Arizona. And so for the other 1,300 men and women of the Mesa Police Department, I'll pedal a few miles for all of them in honor of Brandon today.
I'm actually riding for 2 people. The 2 cities that border the city where I work each lost an officer last year while I was working. Robert German with the Windermere Police Department. It's a very small agency, and Deputy Scott Pine with the Orange County Sheriff's Office, which is a major agency. Both were shot and killed within about 4 months of each other.
What the Police Unity Tour does in the funds that it raises for us, it helps to do a number of things. It helps to sponsor the Officer of the Month program, which helps honor living officers and their heroic deeds. It also helps to raise funds to keep the memorial going. So they actually just raised a large portion of money to clean the memorial and to help seal the engraving of the names so that they'll last forever.
I'm riding for my baby brother.
I remember when the individual whose name is, he was a chief investigator for Boston PD, his name was Al Suarez, and I remember when he was shot and killed. And his wife was a dispatcher, and she was actually working at the time that he was killed, and it was very tough. It's tough to lose anybody. So I contacted his wife, and I let her know that I was going to be wearing his bracelet the entire ride, and I was going to carry it in to Washington.
I'm riding for my baby brother. He was killed in November, Leon County Sheriff's Department. The interesting thing was, we're one of 9 kids. My oldest brother passed away a few years ago. We were actually driving up that day to the Boston College Florida State football game when we got the call. So the first thing that went through my mind as my wife took the call was, I could tell something had really happened that was bad. And really it was, who was it? I could tell it was somebody, obviously my family. And I just didn't know who it was. And it was just, until we could get off the interstate, it was, who could it be? So that's what I was thinking it was, and then it turned out to be Chris. I think about him all the time, all the support, the people just in their cars honking, everything that happens reminds me at some point of him, and it's been a rough week, but it's good though, in a good way rough.
The biggest thing that we want is we don't want Brian to be forgotten, just like we don't want any fallen officer to be forgotten. As a Marine, I didn't want any of the Marines that I was with to be forgotten, so we always carry their memory around. And when we lost our son, we just want everybody to remember him and the effect he had on everybody else and the world around him.
I was told the candlelight vigil is really, really moving, so I would think that would be the one that would be hard to get through. But my family's going to meet me up there, so that's good.
It's very hard to describe. It's been so incredible. It's just what everybody said it would be, and then more. It's amazing. I actually teared up coming up the last hill and getting in here. I made it through, and I realized that some people, they don't make it home.
My husband, he's pretty fantastic. It's an honor none of us want, but we now carry. I miss him.
The last portion was rough, crying most of the time. Just staying on the bike and holding it together was not fun, not easy, but you have to keep rolling. You can't stop.
I mean, like I said, it's not an honor anybody wants, but he's a hero. He died a hero. He worked 25 years in law enforcement, so it's what he loved. I mean, he loved his kids and he loved me, but he loved his job, and he loved his brothers and sisters in law enforcement.
He was a good, well, I say good man, but he was a boy to me. He was only 25 years old, just got married, have a little girl, a little granddaughter. She's 11 now, and he's been very missed. And like I said, I'm going through a rough time right now. I'm losing my husband as dementia Alzheimer's right now. So, but I'm trying to give back and do, and I'm trying to be strong. Yeah, I have bad days, I have good days, but like I said, I want to be honoring him. He sacrificed and gave to us, so I'm sacrificing, giving it all to.
I'm Officer Michael Von Stein with the Tallahassee Police Department. I'm here representing Officer James Marissi with the Oak Forest Police Department in Illinois. He was end of watch was March 17th, 2014. He was killed in the line of duty while responding to assist another officer in a car crash.
He was a trooper with South Carolina Highway Patrol. The first year that I did the Police Unity Tour was in 2010, right after he was killed. We came here for the National Police Week, and my first experience ever coming to Washington, D.C. was actually riding into D.C. on my bike. It is such an amazing experience every year. You pedal all these miles and you get tired. Sometimes you sit there, at least I do, wondering, why did I say I would do this again another year? And as soon as you get into the city or you pass by a small town where people are there to honor you for riding for your officer or loved one, it just makes it all worth it.
I'm looking forward to seeing more of the stuff that's going on up here. It's, like I said, it's a great honor, and you know, I'm up here with my family, and I'm really enjoying being with that. I have my kids up here, and I think this is good. This is going to be good for them.
I remember my first funeral as a funeral commander, riding in the lead car going to the cemetery. I saw convicted felons who I had personally put in jail, standing on the side of the road, hand over their heart or saluting. It was a little bit different day, mind you, 30 years ago. But all in all, that same philosophy takes place. So the community helps us heal, we help each other.
They can expect a very honoring ceremony for the officers. It is just an amazing experience just to be able to hear your officer's name called. It's the only time that they'll hear it. The year that they're officers of their officers end of watch state, they get to hear their name called and know that their name has been added to a wall that unfortunately is a memorial that is constantly adding new names to it.
I'm Hugh Miller. It was my honor to ride for Ohio State Highway Patrolman Michael Paris. His end of watch was August 1st, 2012. He died as a result of a traffic stop encounter on duty, and this year was my honor to ride for him and to meet his wife, Jean.
It's just an amazing experience. You come here, you meet new survivors, old survivors, you know, friends that we've made over the years that we've come. It's priceless, you know, and it's such a great, you know, opportunity and an honour, I feel, just to be asked to come over, and you know, you're just welcomed, and it's just like coming home to family. It really is. We say the only thing that divides us is like the pond, which is just a bit of water.
By the knowledge that America's thin blue line on these memorial walls, we stand shoulder to shoulder.
From the state of Florida, Chelsea Renee Richard, John Yeomans, Mark Hayden Larson. Christopher Lynn Smith.
So every time I'm struggling, it's nothing compared to what the people we're writing for have done.
Right, shoulder, push.
The last group that's affected that we sometimes don't appreciate is the community that they serve, because it's a tear in the fabric.
Some of the other survivors, we kind of think of it as this is really like nothing compared to the heartache that we had before. So it is hilly, but to us it's kind of like symbolic for our lives, I guess. That sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's easy, but you just keep pedaling and you just persevere, and eventually you get through it.
It's really nice that we can come and celebrate his life, but I'd rather be celebrating with him.
Definitely the survivors keep me coming back. Every year we have some returning survivors and of course new survivors, and the interaction I get with them during the year and when we're up here just keeps reinforcing the reason why this whole organization started.
I just think this is a fantastic event. I plan to ride in it as often as I can in the future.
Usually Sunday's pretty quiet in Urbana.
And he always wanted to be a police officer also. So he did what he wanted to do.